Rogers Center. A beautiful night, and some people enjoying it more than others, and I'm not going to suggest which ones are enjoying it the most. But here in the ballpark, it is perfect for a ball game. Henderson Alvarez starts to get it loose as he will face these very tough Washington Nationals here tonight. The lineup for the Nationals as they come in, winners in the opener last night. Steve Lombardozzi once again leads it off. He's in left field. Bryce Harper, who had 3 hits last night. Well, what a player this young kid is, now hitting .295 overall. Ryan Zimmerman at third. It's Adam LaRoche the cleanup, and he homered in last night's game. Michael Morse, big guy. Ian Desmond, Danny Espinoza, Rick Ankiel, and Jonathan Solano does the catching.
Henderson Alvarez is finishing his warm-up pitches, getting ready for his 13th start of the season. A 3-5 record, a .376 earned run average. Much better his last time out. He has not won since May the 10th when he threw 7 innings at Minnesota, and his last time out against Chicago was the first time he reached 7 innings pitched. But I think the key for Henderson tonight, we'll watch him make sure he gets on top of that ball. When he does, he's got a much better sinker.
Well, he finds the strike zone with his first pitch. It's been a long and tough grind here for Henderson. 5 straight starts, all losses for the Blue Jays, and a very nice time to try to turn things around.
Thought he was much better his last time out, Allen, because he was staying on top and keeping the ball down. And again, just made that one mistake, and the home run to Rios cost him a couple of runs.
Home runs have been an issue for Henderson this season. Had good movement on that fastball. It hit on a line, but that speed and jump from Colby Rasmus for out number 1.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Henderson Alvarez, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Basically, he is a 3-pitch pitcher. He's got to use his fastball. He's got to keep it down. Last start, he threw 90 of 107 pitches with the fastball, the 2 and the 4-seam fastball. His slider is improving. Hitters just batting .169 against him. And I think, again, the change-up will be important for Alvarez to keep him on his fastball.
The change-up was a pitch we saw quite a bit from Henderson last year when he got his chance coming up to the club. He's backed off of that pitch a bit. And maybe brings the change-up as we talk about it.
We were watching him warm up tonight, and you can tell he's got a good fastball. That first pitch of the game, 95 miles an hour. So he's got to be able to complement that with that change-up.
The fact that he brings a couple of change-ups on the first 2 offerings to Bryce Harper, what does that say to you about maybe his feeling or the Blue Jays' feelings about Harper?
That he can turn around the fastball.
Yeah.
He's looked very comfortable with that heater.
There's a fastball. There's a base hit. 4th hit in the series for the youngster Bryce Harper.
And he can turn around a fastball. He makes adjustments in game better than anybody at his age that I've ever seen. Fastball in the inner half, and he just pounds it through the right side out of the reach of Kelly Johnson.
That's not turning around just an average fastball. Henderson Alvarez throws hard, and you get it on the inside edge like that and hit it that sharply. Pretty special. Wide-eyed, and boy, he's taking it all in. Ryan Zimmerman stands in, third baseman for the Nats. Been struggling a bit with the bat, hitting .244. There's that good movement as Alvarez finds the outside corner.
That's what you need from Henderson Alvarez. The ability to pitch inside, outside, keep the ball down on the ground. And when he does that, he's as effective as anybody. Keeping the ball on the ground.
If you're watching Henderson in the first inning and trying to figure out if he's going to have a big night or not, what are you watching for?
Fastball command and his ability to stay on top of the baseball. When he stays on top of it, and I thought he did that in Chicago. He gets a lot more movement. The fastball doesn't go side to side, it goes down. And that's where he'll get a lot of his ground ball outs, when he stays on top of it and drives it to the lower parts of the strike zone.
0-2 count on Zimmerman. And Zimmerman gets a piece. So what are you seeing with that arm slot now from Henderson Alvarez?
A little inconsistency. I know it's only the first inning, and we have seen 3 batters, but a little bit inconsistent. At times he'll stay on top, and you'll get better movement. That last 0-2 pitch got a little bit on the side, and the ball stayed on the hitting plane.
What happens with a pitcher that has a good sinker naturally and he drops down a little bit is you start to lose that depth in the sink, and instead it starts to run to the arm side
and stays in the hitting plane and stays on that plane too long.
Very close as he misses away, and you see the number at 95. Big time arm possessed by Henderson Alvarez. Blue Jays have got some of these kids that have special arms. Drew Hutchison has been showing a lot more in that regard of late. And fouled again off the right side. Just the first inning. And there's that pitching staff that probably realizes amongst themselves that they've got a tough assignment coming forward. High chopper off the plate. Only play for Alvarez will be to first. Makes that spin towards second base as if he even had a thought about possibly going that way.
Can't do it. You got to get an out. This team takes advantages of your mistakes. So Alvarez under control makes the play.
One of the guys that contributed last night to the Washington victory was first baseman Adam LaRoche. 2-run home run, and it was a towering bomb to the second tank. This guy's got power, and he plays a great first base on top of that.
What a season he is putting together. The first half of the season, 11 home runs, now 42 driven in for LaRoche. Some leadership on that infield, and he made a couple of nice plays defensively to take away hits from the Blue Jays last night.
There's that sinker diving below the knees, and that's not a bad place to be early in the count.
That's a great place to be, and you can tell the difference in the depth of his fastball. That one as opposed to the 0-2 pitch to Zimmerman. That time he got on top of it, and he got a lot more sink to it.
Snap throw down to second base, and good throw from Jeff Mathis, but Yunel Escobar didn't get to the bag, and it looked like a play where there was not possibly something preset between the two.
That's one of those, I'll be there if you throw it.
Look at that. Throw goes over the bag, maybe the wrong side of the bag, but that's really a good throw from the catcher. Jeff Mathis is aggressive, has a very good arm, does things well behind the plate.
Well, the reputation of Bryce Harper is getting around the league that he's a very aggressive player. He's an aggressive base runner, and you watch him take his secondary lead. It's a big one. So not a bad idea by Mathis to just throw down there. Maybe he shortens it up a little bit. Give the outfielders a chance to throw him out at the plate in case there's a base hit into the outfield.
3-0 count to the cleanup man for the Nats. Harper at second base getting a pretty good lead against Alvarez. The only guy that can cut down that lead is Yunel Escobar. You see him right behind the runner, but you've got to dart in to get something done. 3-1 tap foul. So with first base open, a 3-2 count on the cleanup man. Waiting on deck, really another cleanup man in this lineup, Mike Morse. We saw Harper get thrown out last night at third base by Jose Bautista. And you wonder if there's a base hit to right field right here. What might Harper be thinking?
He's going to be thinking about scoring.
You would think so with 2 outs, right?
Certainly, certainly. That's why he's getting such a big lead at second base on his secondary lead. Bo Porter, the third base coach, will be aggressive.
Alvarez trying to battle back from the 3-0. Changeup, grounded foul. So we talked about it. Let's look at it. Jose Bautista, one of the game's great arms. Such an aggressive player from right field. And he gets the throw down. It keeps runners from moving on the backside. And just a perfect throw that got Harper by a pretty wide margin.
Full key for Jose as he charges the ball so well and he gets his feet set.
Three-two pitch, fouled again, and huge secondary lead at second base by Bryce Harper, just bouncing away from the bag.
You know, we'll watch Jeff Mathis. If it ends up being ball 4, you know, he could come out of there, that chute, and throw down to second base.
He's going to need some help on the backside there. Escobar, even though Harper had a huge secondary lead, Escobar didn't come to the bag. Pitch is popped up. Is it playable? Foul territory for Edwin. Nearing the seats and now dances into it. And so Alvarez gets out of the first inning for the Blue Jays. In the bottom of the first inning, Brett Lawrie, followed by Colby Rasmus and Jose Bautista. Start again with Brett Lawrie at the top, followed by Colby Rasmus, who has been hot. 3-game hitting streak, couple home runs in that streak, and he's been crushing it for a period of time now. Jose Bautista follows. He and Edwin Encarnacion, most home runs between a pair on any team in the major leagues. Kelly Johnson at second. At short, at Junel Escobar, David Cooper, Rajai Davis, and Jeff Mathis round out the lineup.
Starting lineup that Chien-Ming Wang will have to face tonight. This is just his 3rd game of the season. He was signed by the Nationals as a free agent back in February of 2010 and then missed the whole season with a right shoulder injury. He debuted with the Nationals July of last season. It came on the 2-year anniversary of his surgery for that repair torn capsule muscle in his shoulder. But when he was on, he was a member of the New York Yankees. He was a 2-time 19-game winner.
He was as much of an ace of that staff as anybody. Great sinker. So it's an intriguing matchup when you match the sinkers of Chien-Ming Wang and Henderson Alvarez.
They're the exact same pitcher, I think, Alvarez and Chien-Ming Wang.
Sinker hit through the hole on the right side, so Brett Lawrie has an immediate response for the sinker.
A base hit to right field. That's how you got to take it sometimes, the other way. The scouting report for Chien-Ming Wang. He's tall. It's a sinker, just like Henderson Alvarez. He'll throw it 70% of the time. Mix in the slider just a little bit. At times he tries to throw too many changeup. That's the splitter there, and he got hit by a home run last time off of that pitch. But basically, sinker slider. So you've got to set your sights down just like you have to against Henderson Alvarez.
Colby Rasmus with that powerful bat standing in. Just the bottom of the first inning. Chien-Ming Wang with that sinker, and it dives just a bit too low, but you can certainly see that great sinking action.
Yeah, don't even look from the belt up. Just look for the ball down, because that's where it's going to be. Every one of his pitches has that type of movement to it.
Wonder if the Blue Jays feel they can run. Apparently they do. Lawrie goes and makes it easily, and now gets off the bag as he comes to his feet and gets tagged out. Brett Lawrie cannot believe this call. Brett steals the bag easily and then jumps to his feet. At that point, Did he come off the bag at the time of any kind of tag? Let's see.
Ian Desmond stayed right with it. You see a little bit too aggressive slide by Laurie, and Desmond stays right with it and records the out at second base. And you see Brett Laurie saying why. But Lance Barksdale was right on top of it.
Rasmus hits it in the air to left field. Right under it is Lombardozzi. He'll make the catch, and just like that, 2 outs. Boy, how costly a play like this can be, where you have either 2 outs and nobody on base, or a man at second and nobody out. Now, you could argue both ways there, but the fact that Laurie comes off the bag puts him in a position where the call can be made.
And the umpire's right there. That's how he saw it, that he was off the bag. And Ian Desmond, what a job staying right with. A lot of times the infielders will just give up on that, catch the ball and concede the base.
Well, it brings up Bautista with nobody on base, watching that slider all the way. 17 bombs for Jose. He has inserted himself among the leaders, and 44 RBIs for that matter. Absolute identical numbers to those of Edwin Encarnacion. Jose Bautista, you could see taking all the way, had no intention of swinging on those first 2 pitches.
Just to get a good look, Jin-Ming Wong. Tough to get the ball airborne against the sinker ball pitcher.
There goes that sinker again. Wong's got the sinker in a good spot, but a little too good as it's biting below the knees. Wong very deliberate with the windup, and misses on 4 straight to Jose. So Bautista, who led the major leagues in walks a year ago, draws one here with 2 outs. Brings up Edwin Encarnacion. We mentioned those numbers. Edwin, like Jose Bautista, 17 home runs, 44 RBIs. The big difference, that batting average, on base percentage, is a part of that as well for Edwin. Those numbers are good. What do you think when you watch Brett Laurie play? Obviously loaded with tools, talent, does a lot of things extremely well, but does he leave himself open for problems at times?
Well, he'll learn that. It's such a long season that you've got to be able to pace yourself. And then that doesn't mean not to play hard. I'm not saying that, but you just pace yourself to bring it every single day. I think that slide shows you the type of athleticism he has. He was so quick, and he was down and to the bag so quickly. He just came off the bag.
Wong has shown that he can be run on. There's that sinker. This one finds the knees. And you wonder if the fact that Laurie stole the bag, at least initially, so easily, might make the Blue Jays and John Farrell decide, let's go ahead and try to run as much as possible.
Well, they have a timer, and they'll time how long it takes Jin-Ming Wong to release that baseball. And he's very long.
Well, they don't have to run to get to second base. The pitch in the dirt kicks away from the catcher Solano. And now Bautista in scoring position. It is a wild pitch.
With a sinker ball pitcher, you got to assume at some point the ball is going to get down into the dirt.
That might have been the breaking ball.
Yeah, it was a slider that he held on to just a little bit too long.
A ball and a strike on Edwin. There goes Jose as the pitch is through for a strike, and not even bothering to throw as Solano. Jose picks third base. Well, there's the answer, I think, pretty quickly for all of us. The Blue Jays see an opportunity wide open from Wong to run, and Bautista takes it.
Yeah, just one look from Jin-Ming Wong once Jose Bautista got to second base. One look, and there it goes. He timed it perfectly. And Bautista now 4 for 4 in stolen bases this year.
And now the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Edwin Encarnacion. That's the 44th stolen base for the Blue Jays. With Brett Laurie's caught stealing, 14 times they've been caught, so they've run successfully as a team. Edwin gets jammed as he fouls it down the right side. Blue Jays leader in stolen bases, Rajai Davis. Pretty easy to guess there. 14, caught just twice. Thought coming out of spring training, if Rajai didn't get a lot of playing time, that maybe Brett Laurie would be that guy. 2-2 is grounded to short. Two big hops for Desmond. He'll fire onto LaRoche, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the first inning, as they, like the Nats, come out without a run. We go to the second, scoreless. Back in the top of the first inning, Bryce Harper was at second base, and Jeff Mathis saw a window open, maybe a chance to pick off the youngster at second base. Yunel Escobar didn't cover at the bag, and then they have the very much needed conversation on the bench.
Yeah, just be there and I'll throw it down there. Runner at second base, 2 outs. He's going to try and get a big secondary lead. Let's go ahead and put on the pickoff play. Nothing wrong with that from the catcher. So
Mike Morse leads it off for the Nats here in the second inning.
So both of them getting on the same page on that one.
You know, we don't see a lot of Jeff Mathis. He is the backup catcher right now. What are your impressions watching him defensively?
I think he is very good. We had a chance to watch him last year in a game out in Anaheim against the Blue Jays when he was a member of the Los Angeles Angels, and it was like 6 or 7 balls in the dirt that he got over there and blocked. He calls a good game. You know, he's always in the game.
He's got the skills behind the plate, no doubt about it, as Alvarez gets on the hands of Morse.
Yeah, good catch and throw guy, smart, calls a good game, watches and reads bats, really works well with the pitching staff. And this year starting to show a little power with that bat.
Yeah, he has some pop in the bat. 1-2 pitch from Henderson, misses low. I see Mike Morse at the plate, and last night had a comparison with Jose Canseco, the big guy. Morse is 6'5", listed at 245. He's all of that. Watching him take batting practice is quite a treat. Hanging breaking ball, and Henderson Alvarez may be fortunate that went back of the plate rather than the other direction.
Did you see Alvarez after that ball was fouled off, how he knew he got away with another pitch that was up in the strike zone? Shakes his head a little bit. Says, I've got to do a little bit better job of keeping that ball down.
Mike Morse a year ago, 31 home runs, driving in 95. He grounds one inside the bag at first and down the line. He will just stop at the bag. Jose Bautista is the guy out there defensively, and I think the Nats have figured out a little bit about Jose Bautista and that arm of his. Second hit for the Nats, just reaching out is Mike Morse.
Alvarez makes a good pitch to a good hitter. You mentioned the 31 home runs. He also hit 300 last year for the Nationals. Just reaches out on a good pitch and keeps it fair down the right field line.
Not a guy that's going to run a lot, Mike Morse. 6 stolen bases in 11 attempts over his 8-year career, and hasn't run yet this season. Ian Desmond at the plate, grounds one right toward the bag at second. Stepping on the bag is Escobar, and turning the easy double play with Encarnacion on the other end.
Can't draw it up any easier than that by the shortstop. A ground ball, his momentum takes him right to the ball and the bag. You catch it, you tag the bag with your foot, and then you've got plenty of time to relay on to first base to get the double play.
Now, had this chopper been hit to shortstop or second, there's no way you turn a double play. You get one out, but with that ball right at the bag, easily done. It brings up 7-hitter Danny Espinosa. He's the second baseman for these first place Washington Nationals from the tough National League East, and they lead by 3 games over second place Atlanta. Miami 5 games back with the Mets. There's a strike. The Chicago Cubs are 20-40 as they start their season, 12.5 games back. But the Washington Nationals 36-23 with last night's win. They come in winners of 4 straight, and they look like that kind of club.
They're going to be there all year because their starting staff and their bullpen is good. Davey Johnson knows that his pitching will carry him. He had those great staffs with the New York Mets, and he's got the same thing right here in Washington.
Fastball drilled to left field and deep. Going back, Rajay doesn't have a chance. One hop off the wall, and heading safely into second base easily is Danny Espinosa. 2-out double and the 3rd hit now for the Nationals.
Henderson Alvarez was throwing a couple off-speed pitches and then tries to slip a fastball by Espinosa. Again, a good pitch down and away, and he stays right on top of it and hits it hard to left field. No chance for Rajay Davis to run it down or get him at second base. Too much speed. And Espinosa flashing some glove and arm and now bat in this series.
14th double for the switch hitter, and good speed at second base as Rick Ankiel is at the plate. There's that diving sinker running away, and that probably says the arm angle dropped a little bit. Ankiel came on last night and had 1 at bat as he came on late in the ballgame, launched a home run to left center field.
Change up right there from Henderson Alvarez, a little bit too hard at 87 miles an hour and a little bit too up. Got to get that ball down where the batter is reaching for it.
That home run last night for Ankiel, his 4th on the season. Now that sinker is above the knees just a bit, and that starts to get into a dangerous zone when it is above the knees.
Yeah, got to keep it down. With 2 strikes, you'd love to be able to throw a pitch that is a strike on the way to the plate and then falls out of the strike zone.
Breaking ball got him swinging. A big hanger, and sometimes those result in strikeouts. First strikeout on the night for Henderson Alvarez. Ball just comes out of the hand, hanging high, but anyway, the strikeout. We played an inning and a half scoreless. BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday. Stay up to date with all the latest Blue Jays news and information by following the club on Twitter You can also submit your questions during tonight's game to @BlueJays, and your question could be selected as our Twitter fan question of the night. All the nice stuff in the Jays shop. Bottom of the second inning, scoreless game. Kelly Johnson leads it off. Blue Jays with a hit, the Nationals with 3. Ming Wan, very much like Henderson Alvarez, that fastball will sometimes get away and just run away from the plate.
And if he misses with it and it runs over the plate, that's where he gets hurt. When he was with the New York Yankees, the 2 years where he was healthy with New York, that was 2006, 2007. He was one of the better pitchers in the American League.
Little tapper third base side. Zimmerman comes on, makes the throw on the run for the first out.
Boy, it's one of the better third basemen in the National League. He won a Gold Glove in 2009 with plays just like this, very smooth. A lot like Evan Longoria, if you are familiar with the American League. He moves well. He's got good hands, good range, good actions at third base. And as John Farrell says, he's got a presence about himself.
Brings up Yunel Escobar. Hitting right on the money, 250 with 3 homers on his season. There's that sinker just below the knees. You know, you go back to that first 19 game winning season for Wong back in 2006 that you talk about, Pat. He still allowed 233 hits in 218 innings, so he'll give up the hits.
Yeah, he certainly will. He doesn't give up the home runs. He threw 218 innings and gave up something like 12 home runs.
Home runs is right. Yeah, 1 every 10 innings. If you give up 1 per 9 or 10 innings, you've done very well.
Yep. He doesn't strike out a lot of batters. You combine those two years together, 417 innings pitched, just 180 strikeouts and 38 wins.
Pitch is drilled up the middle, but there is Espinosa from his knees like last night as he throws out Escobar. This has been stellar defense by the Washington Nationals second baseman.
You know, I don't want to say it, but he's starting to remind me a little bit of Robbie Alomar. Now, Alomar I thought was the best, but just his actions around second base, his range, and the way he dives for balls and then comes up throwing reminds me of the second baseman who was here for years and years.
Certainly quick on his feet, and everybody talks about his throwing arm on top of everything else. Gives himself that chance, much like a Robinson Cano in today's game. There's a strike to start things on David Cooper.
Certainly has the range to play as deep as he is playing at second base. He plays a very deep second base, comes in. You can see him out on the outfield grass, or would be the outfield grass, and that helps him with that range.
Cooper, who's hit a couple of home runs opposite field since joining the Blue Jays, fouls one down the left side. Everybody talked about David Cooper as a guy that, yeah, he should hit for a nice average, but will he hit for power? And he's been showing some of that power with the ball club. Again, those 2 home runs the other way are rather impressive. Well, that's a tough pitch to deal with 2 strikes.
He might have to set his sights the other way, the way that ball is coming out of Chien-Ming Wong's hand tonight. Set your sights the other way and pick out a gap in left center field.
I think with left-hand hitters at the plate and a guy who has a fastball that runs like this, defensively, the outfield especially should move toward left field. Of course, then as soon as you say that, you get the slider breaking down and in the other way.
Throw for a strike. That's what I say. You can see the center fielder. That's Rick Ankiel shading towards left field, anticipating that ball in the air into the gap.
Some center fielders will tell you they can see the signs. That's a pretty tough chore. Fastball just dives down and away.
Without binoculars, they can see the signs.
Yeah, that's and I've always wondered about that. Now, the shortstop and second baseman are always watching for signs, but out in center field, pretty tough chore, and no series of signs there, just the one sign. Again, Cooper hits it the other way, but in play down the left field line, just into foul territory, as Lombardozzi makes the play. So the Blue Jays go down 1-2-3 in the second inning. Chen-Min Wong having his way in this scoreless game. Carlos Delgado, you know him, one of the greats of all time among the Blue Jays.
He was down on the field before the game today during batting practice. Got to visit with him a little bit, and then after he went over to talk to the media, the talk around the batting cage was that night he had here against the Tampa Bay Rays when he hit 4 home runs. An incredible night. And his last one wasn't a paint scraper. That was a bomb right off the windows in center field.
Looked like Delgado still had that smile on his face from that night.
Looks like he can still hit, too.
Catcher Jonathan Solano will stand in. Grounds one to the left of short. Nice play by Escobar. He'll spin and throw to get his man. So the Nats have been playing some strong defense. The Blue Jays say they can do it as well, with Escobar making one of his many fine plays on the season.
Henderson Alvarez has one of the lowest batting averages against on ground balls because of plays like this. This is, Escobar going up the middle. He knows the catcher is running, so he can tap that glove a couple of times before he makes a strong throw to first base. Very nice.
Leadoff man Steve Lombardozzi at the plate. Takes that sinker at the bottom of the knees. Back to Escobar. He's a big, strong guy, as you know. But he moves around at shortstop extremely well and has that terrific throwing arm.
Yeah, you've got to have a shortstop that can move around when you've got that type of pitcher like the Blue Jays have in Henderson Alvarez. Got to be able to read bats.
Pitches hit foul.
Situations.
I wonder what Escobar thinks when he hears a lot of the talk about Adeiny Echeverria and his great defensive skills.
Probably, hey, there's nothing I can do about that except what I do during the game. I mean, you played when there were young guys coming up.
Sure.
And then you say, I'm just going to go out and do my job, do my thing here. And baseball changes day to day. And the only thing you can control and worry about is how you do that day.
Well, I'll say this for Escobar. He has played a very good shortstop, and he makes some terrific plays. That bat is a big component of what makes up a shortstop, and probably coming up a little shy to this point this season.
Well, I love watching him throw.
Yes.
Especially on the ball that gets in the hole. He's got to backhand it, and he's got to plant that right foot and really air it out across the diamond.
I think when people talk about arms for shortstops, Yunel gets shortchanged a bit. Ground ball first base side, backhanded by Edwin. He'll feed to his pitcher Alvarez at the bag, and the second out of the inning. And now time for our Future Stars, brought to you by Toyota's More For You event, on right now. Last night on the minor league scene in Vegas, a few guys that get a lot of talk about them. Anthony Gose, Adeiny Echeverria, and Travis d'Arnaud, and they had some nice nights.
Yeah, they certainly did with the bats, and they play very important positions. d'Arnaud, the catcher, Echeverria, the shortstop, and Gose, the center fielder. They play important positions on the diamond.
Bryce Harper stands in, crushes one to right center field, and this one is way out of here. Now, Bryce Harper, who had 3 hits in last night's game, also drew a walk, has his 2nd hit on the night, and this his 7th home run already. As that batting average is over 300, this kid is something to behold.
I think he likes it here at Rogers Center. You mentioned the 3 hits in last night's game, and now 2 more in his first 2 at bats. And watch how he gets under this one and gets it in the air. It's a sinker over the middle of the plate. That is legitimate power right there. Quick bat and hits it square.
So 1-0 Nats on top. Ryan Zimmerman stands in. Boy, it's got to be fun watching this guy every day. There are a lot of great young talents in the major leagues, no doubt. And Mike Trout with the Angels.
Yeah. Wow.
What a phenom he has become. But Bryce Harper has to be talked about. 0-2 the count on Zimmerman.
That looked like a Carlos Delgado home run right there, the way it came off the bat.
That was a no-doubt shot.
Since we were talking about Carlos, beginning of this inning.
Jose Cruz Jr. And strike 3 is called on Zimmerman. He's caught looking. 2nd strikeout for Henderson Alvarez. But the Nats strike in the top of the 3rd inning on home run number 7 on the year for Bryce Harper. This kid can swing it. Bio. Future Stars brought to you by Toyota's More For You event. And also the baseball bio brought to you by Transitions Adaptive Lenses.
This is Bryce Harper, just 19 years old, from Las Vegas, Nevada, the 1st overall pick in the 2010 draft. He earned a GED in just 2 years from Las Vegas High School, so he could start his college career early, so he could get drafted early. He also has a brother who is a left-handed pitcher in the Nationals farm system, who was a 30th round draft pick by the Nationals.
Well, he has supplied the offense here this evening with the Nats on top 1-0. Home run number 7. Chien-Ming Wang, the veteran right-hander. Good sinker at the knees.
Well, I'm impressed. It only took, what, 7 at-bats? And Bryce Harper He's pretty good.
You think he's legit, huh?
Yes.
I think anybody who has watched these two ball games probably has the same impression.
Yeah, we couldn't wait to see him in person. We've heard so much about him for the last few years, and couldn't wait to see him play. And he knows what he's doing with that bat in his hand.
Boy, does he ever.
At just 19 years old. Wow.
But he looks like he knows what he's doing in all facets of the game. Rajay, it's jammed, strikes out. We mentioned 5 hits for Bryce Harper here in the series, including the home run. Let's take a peek.
Hold the ball, stays back, and one of the most impressive at-bats was against Luis Perez yesterday, left-hander who has really handled left-handed hitters this year. We got a hit off of him, and that's the home run that we just saw from Harper to center field. Yeah, you can see why he was the #1 pick overall just a couple of years ago, and here he is in the big leagues. And we've heard about his throwing arm. We haven't had a chance to see that yet. You know, he signed as a catcher.
Yes.
And they moved him to the outfield. That's a smart play, I think, by Washington, putting him in the outfield and saving him all the wear and tear that catchers go through.
Got a little Bryce Harper story I picked up today.
Bring it on.
When he was 18 years of age, he was playing in the Arizona Instructional League, fall ball, whatever it's called. And his teammates decided as Halloween rolled around that as an 18-year-old, he needed to trick or treat. Mathis grounds one foul. So they decided to get him a nice hot dog suit that they put on him and a bucket. And they didn't send him out among the neighborhood kids, but they did keep him in the clubhouse, and he had to trick or treat to all the lockers of his teammates. That's what an 18-year-old has to go through as a professional ball player.
Is that a rookie initiation thing, or just a welcome to pro ball thing?
I guess you can take your pick on that one. I have a feeling this young man can handle just about anything that comes his way.
And you listen to him in interviews, feels like he's mature beyond his years. Understands the game, knows the history of the game, respects it.
Jeff Mathis goes down swinging on that slider. Second straight strikeout. And Brett Lawrie comes to the plate. Well, we get further word on Brandon Morrow, as Lawrie will stand in. That left oblique strain has been confirmed with the tests he went through today, and he will be placed on the DL starting tomorrow. Roster move will come at that time. Brett Lawrie 1 for 1 on the night. Singled sharply through the hole on the right side for a base hit in the first inning. Then took off trying to steal second. Nabbed it easily, but as he popped up, bounced off the bag, a tag was applied, and he was called out. And this one gets a piece of Lawrie. Hate to see that at any time. Any player where the hands get involved on those fastballs up and in.
Well, it certainly cost Brett Lawrie maybe 2 months in the big leagues last year. This one, though, right on the wrist. Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, all over that one right away, calling hit by pitch. The ricochets off the wrist. Now Lawrie's at first base, and I don't anticipate him sitting around there very long. You mentioned that stolen base. He had it stolen easily.
Jian-Ming Wong appears to be susceptible to the running game, so he throws to first base, but bottom line, he's going to have to speed things up on his way to the plate.
Or vary his delivery, his times. And Jose Bautista was on at second base. He just gave him the one quick look. And Bautista was able to time it.
Nationals lead it 1-0 on a Bryce Harper home run, and it was a no doubt majestic shot to right center. of this break. Coming up a little at that point, we will be talking with John Farrell. Two balls and no strikes as Colby Rasmus stands in. 0 for 1, fly to left field in the first inning.
When a batter stands on top of the plate like we have seen from Colby Rasmus over the last few weeks, it makes it very hard for the pitcher to find a spot where he can throw it to get him out. And when you look in right there from Rasmus, where are you going to try and get him out? Maybe inside, but he's too quick.
Well, if you have scouting reports, you realize that he's crushing balls to right field, so you're likely feeling like you can't get in there, but that still may be the way to go. If you make a mistake, he has that ability to yank that ball into right field for extra bases. I played with Frank Robinson. He was a manager and a player at the time, stood right up on home plate. I played against Bob Horner, a guy who was one of the game's great power hitters back in the 80s. With the Atlanta Braves, he stood right on home plate, and everybody felt like, well, you need to pitch him out over the plate. But that's exactly what they wanted. They felt like they could, in getting close to the plate, bring that into their swing zone, and they would just turn it around, pull it into the left field side.
That's what I mean. As a pitcher stands out on that mound and he sees a guy like Rasmus right on top of the plate, where are you going to pitch him? It looks like he can handle everything. In, out, up, away. Pitchers have tried to go in there, but he's been waiting for him.
Laurie goes, pitch is drilled into right field. Solid base hit. Laurie digging for third. Here's the throw from Harper, not in time. And that's a pretty good looking arm from Bryce Harper. Well, Colby Rasmus stays hot. Brett Laurie keeps the running game going, and the Blue Jays have runners at first and third.
Boy, if he could have gotten this ball airborne, it would have been a home run, but he gets on top of it and sends a missile into right field. Well, here is the arm of Bryce Harper right on the bag. Brett Laurie takes off wisely from first base, and with his good speed will make it ahead of the throw.
Now, Brett Laurie appeared to take that all on his own. He saw the base hit. He was taking off on the pitch and figured he's got to be able to get to third base, but Harper made it close.
Yeah, with that type of speed that Brett Laurie has, he's got to challenge anybody.
Jose Bautista trying to get the Blue Jays back in this one. See the batting average, 228, but the power numbers have been there with the 17 homers, 44 ribbies. Where's the strike there? On the pitch, or?
Oh, that's what batters normally will do. They'll turn to the home plate umpire and say, did you call that on the pitch, or did you call that on my check swing?
Certainly appeared to be a pitch off the outside edge. Wong comes with back-to-back sliders.
They have stayed away from Jose the first two games in this series.
Bautista lifetime against the Washington Nationals does have 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. That in 19 games against Washington. Pitch is drilled but foul left side, and Brett Laurie and Brian Butterfield better make themselves aware of this kind of line shot.
That's where it's tough for a third base coach. You take your lead in foul territory for that reason. First of all, you get hit, it's just a foul ball. But it's tough on a third base coach with runners on first and third and a Bautista at the plate, because you've got to give yourself an angle to pick up that runner at first base. So you got to stand a little bit closer to that batter.
They appeal on the check swing. He did not go through, so that fills it on Jose.
I mean, when you are at third base, he's got his back almost to the batter. Bautista taking a look at his runners, and look how close he is.
Very dangerous. And Butterfield not wearing that flap on the right ear. There goes Rasmus, pitches outside, so Jose Bautista draws his second walk on the evening. He has also stolen a base. Bases are loaded now for Edwin Encarnacion.
Pretty obvious to me that the Washington Nationals have said, we are not going to pitch to Jose Bautista. Second walk tonight for Jose, and they said they'll take their chances with Edwin Encarnacion. Bautista walked 2 times in last night's ball game. 2 more times here tonight, and they would rather face Encarnacion. That's why it's imperative that the Blue Jays get some production.
Pitching coach Steve McCatty heads out to the mound to talk with Chien-Ming Wang. Wonder how that conversation goes.
Don't walk him, and don't give him anything good to hit.
Yeah, there you go. Don't put it through the heart of the plate for certain. You see the black edges of the plate up there? That's where we want you.
Pitching coaches, they know their pitchers better than anybody, and they might pick out a little something that he sees in Chien-Ming Wang. Maybe he's not turning enough, or maybe he's not getting his arm up. All those little things that pitching coaches watch for throughout the game.
This inning started with Rajai Davis and Jeff Mathis striking out. But now the base is loaded for Edwin. 4 grand slams on his career. That's Brett Laurie at third. He was hit by a pitch. Colby Rasmus singled and Jose Bautista walks. And now offering on that slider right off the outside edge. Edwin has the count go to 0-1. If you stepped away, shame on you. Bryce Harper has homered. A couple of hits on his night already. And that has provided the 1-0 lead for the Nationals. Slider again and again off that outside edge. And Edwin trying to drive one the other way.
And is staying away from him also. Edwin's had a good year this year so far, hitting with runners in scoring position. Over 320. As part of those 44 RBIs. He does have a hit this year. 1 hit and 1 at bat with the bases loaded. And you remember what that was. Grand slam.
One of the 4 we just mentioned on his career. Blue Jays could certainly use a big inning. 0-2 the count. The fastball runs inside. A year ago, Tabby, Edwin had 17 home runs for his entire season and 55 RBIs. Big difference over 134 games a year ago. 36 doubles. He already has 13 this year. 1-2 pitch. Slider got him looking, and that pitch right out there in the same area where Edwin had offered on the first 2. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Chien-Ming Wang as he gets out of the jam. Blue Jays leave 3 as Edwin goes down looking. By Speedy Auto Service. At Speedy, you're a somebody. And John, you've had a rough couple of days here with Brandon Morrow having to leave the game early last night. You get some word here this evening that obviously you're going to have to put him on the deal. How do you guys deal with this at this point?
Well, Alan, as you mentioned, it's unfortunate that he sustained the strain in the oblique. Further tests confirm it. Obviously, no fracture to that bottom rib, but this is going to create an opportunity for somebody else to seize the moment and come up and take advantage of it.
9 innings out of your bullpen in last night's game because of that injury. Henderson Alvarez, you need a big game from him tonight. It looks like he's got his good fastball.
Yeah, he does, Tabby. And we've made a couple of pitching changes, as you know, to support the guys that are down the pen. We need some length if needed with Aaron Laffey. But it'll be important for Henderson to keep this game under control and get into that 7th inning, hopefully.
Thanks a lot for being with us, John.
Okay, guys.
Henderson Alvarez set to go here in the 4th inning. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for these Nationals. Adam LaRoche leads it off. That changeup is up and away.
Well, he's right. They need some of the guys to step up, but don't try and be a hero. With somebody like Brandon Morrow goes on the disabled list, you just got to go out there and do your thing. You know, Ricky Romero, we saw him talking to John Farrell right after the injury. And you know what he said to him, don't you?
I would assume what he said is, I can probably help you out if you need, Skip.
That's exactly what he said. What a gamer.
Yeah.
You know, and John said, look, man, you threw 70 pitches the other
yesterday.
Day. Yeah.
Which was day before yesterday.
That's
right.
correct. Thanks for the offer, but you're going to make your next start. We don't need you to come out of the pen. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can almost hear Ricky saying, yeah, but the 72 I threw were all the bad ones. I've got some good ones left.
I mean, that's the type of guy he is. He was willing to take the ball in last night's game after the injury to his teammate.
Henderson comes back with a strike. It's 2-1. 4 hits for the Nationals against Alvarez. Just 1 make that 2 for the Blue Jays against Chien-Ming Wang. Pitch is drilled into right center field. That's a 5th hit, and it's going to go to the wall. LaRoche will head into second base. A stand-up double to start this 4th inning.
Timed that pitch from Henderson Alvarez perfectly. It was 90 miles an hour, so it was somewhere in between a changeup and his sinker. It didn't look like a slider, really. It's just a ball that kind of hung over the middle of the plate, and LaRoche winds up and drills it into right center. So a good start here in the 4th inning for the Nationals.
That's the 15th double on the year for Adam LaRoche, who's 1 for 2 on the night. And now with that leadoff double, teams feel they should score in the inning. Mike Moore stands in. The DH takes up an end.
This is where you want to stay inside so he can't hit that ball the other way. Break his bat. Try and get him to hit a ground ball to the left side of the infield so that runner doesn't advance.
Morse just in his 10th game on the season. Takes a perfectly placed heater on the outside edge. Morse had a base hit leading off the 2nd inning. Grounded one through the right side. When you've got a guy like Mike Morse at the plate, powerful hitter, a guy that can get you 2 quick runs with that man at second base right away, do you want him at all trying to hit the ball the other way to move the runner up?
Not early in the game. Maybe if it was tied, or if they were down by a run and it was the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, but just the 4th inning and the type of power that he's possessing, go ahead and knock him in.
Adam LaRoche off to a fine start on his year. Mike Morse, what a effective guy he could be for the Nationals in that lineup now if he can get healthy, stay there, and swing the big bat that he swung a year ago. Well, he certainly wasn't trying to hit that pitch the other way with a couple of strikes on him. You're that runner at second base, and you're trying to get a nice secondary lead and move up on a ground ball that you can get behind yourself, even a ground ball to just slightly to the left of the shortstop. Alvarez can't get the sign he likes. It was June 1st when Morse was taken off the disabled list. Slider drilled, but right at the third baseman Laurie to his knees. He'll make the throw onto first, all the while holding LaRoche at second base. So a key first out of the inning.
Good job by Laurie to snag that ball. He hit hard to him at third base. Snagged it and then watched that runner at second base. 2 or 3 crow hops really froze LaRoche. He had to go back to second base. And a good pitch by Alvarez to keep that leadoff double at second.
Yeah, that was made perfectly by Laurie at third base. A lot of times he throws on the run, but he used the feet very well right there, both to set him up for the throw and to push the runner back to the bag. There's the bottom of the knees. Ian Desmond grounded into a double play as he chopped one over the mound towards second base in the second inning. With Mike Morse aboard, it was an easy 6 unassisted 3 double play. Nice slider on the outside edge. A little bit of a looping swing from Desmond.
This is where Henderson Alvarez has to throw a better pitch right here. He is ahead 0-2. Make a pitch right now.
Desmond, one of those good youngsters for the Nationals, just 26 years of age. You have to wonder how much the 5 straight starts without a win for Henderson Alvarez might be weighing on the youngster. That fastball just completely yanked down and away.
Well, what he should be thinking about is executing his pitches. Pitchers spend their 4 days in between getting ready for those type of starts, their next starts, and then their throwing session should be concentrating on improving their pitches and staying within their delivery and executing their pitches. That's what he does. He has to do, and if he does that, he'll be fine.
Slider gets away just a bit from Mathis, and now the count runs full, 3-2. You know, we talk about the difficulties that Alvarez has had of late, and again, 5 straight starts, all losses for the Blue Jays, but the ERA would say he's pitched pretty well on the whole. 3.73 coming in.
It's the home runs. The home runs have cost him. Another home run here tonight.
15th against Henderson on the season, and this slider nowhere near the strike zone, and yet Desmond can't lay off. And now 2 outs after that leadoff double.
That's an interleague strikeout, not knowing the pitcher. 3-2 slider. Not real sure what he's going to throw. 3-2. He was guessing fastball, and he got the breaking ball.
And that fastball, if it starts in the same line that slider started in, darts back toward the plate, and I think you're right on the money with that.
See a lot of funny hacks in interleague play. Batters are just not familiar with the pitcher.
Danny Espinosa stands in and hits one in the air and deep to center field. Rasmus going back with his back to the plate at the wall. This one is gone. 2-run dinger, Danny Espinosa, his second hit on the night, and the Nats extend the lead to 3-0. And now 16 home runs allowed by Henderson Alvarez.
Sinker ball pitchers, when they make a mistake because you're looking down, if he makes a mistake and it's up, good hitters are going to pounce on it. And that's exactly what Espinosa does. Deep to center field.
Rick Ankiel stands in. First pitch swinging, grounds out to Kelly Johnson, and that'll do it for the Nationals in a 2-run 4th inning. The key swing, the home run by Danny Espinosa, as Henderson Alvarez has work to do. to Jordan Wheeler from St. John's, Newfoundland, for being selected tonight's Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game. If you would like to be selected as the Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game, send us a picture and tell us why you should be selected. For more information, you can get it at bluejays.com/fan of the game. (3-0) the Nationals on top. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Kelly Johnson takes a strike at the knees. Just to correct a mistake, I had mentioned that was 16 home runs allowed by Henderson Alvarez. Just 15 for Alvarez. 2 added to his figures tonight. Kelly Johnson drills one to the seats.
You know, that's one of the things. I think Alvarez is pretty good at such a young age. Possesses a very good arm, but it just seems like every time he makes one mistake, batters are making him pay for it. You say, well, why can't they pop that ball up?
Yeah.
Why can't they swing and miss? But this year, they just haven't missed him.
So why is it a guy like Henderson Alvarez, who has the great sinker, everything breaks downward, he gets a ton of ground balls, why is he so susceptible to the long ball?
I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know. It's like, why don't they foul it back? Why do they keep hitting it out of the ballpark? And that's the mystery to me, because I think he's got a good arm. He's throwing 94 to 95 miles an hour with a sink. But again, he makes one mistake and they make him pay for it.
Jin-Ming Wong spotted to a 3-0 lead. Wong just 1-2 on his season, and he strikes out Kelly Johnson. 4th strikeout now for Wong. We'll be right back at it here tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to be a very fun one to watch. As the pitchers for tomorrow's game, Steven Strasburg goes 7-1 to the mound for the Nationals. Great ERA at 2.41. Kyle Drabek 4-6 for the Blue Jays, ERA at 4.43. Love to have you make your plans to join us here at the Rogers Center, or take it in right here on the set.
It's not going to be fun for any of the batters tomorrow afternoon.
Yunel Escobar, first pitch swinging, grounds to second base. Espinoza to a knee and throws out Escobar, second out here in the inning.
Strasburg's got great stuff, and we can't wait to see him. Kyle Drabek has got good stuff also. This is Steven Strasburg before yesterday's ball game. You think he'd draw a crowd like a rock star? Signed a lot of autographs down the right field line yesterday.
You know what he does along with pitching rather well? He can really swing the bat. 3 doubles already and a dinger.
Well, I'm glad we're playing at Rogers Center.
Yeah, let the guy have no chance to swing it. David Cooper takes down and away. David Cooper 0 for 1 on the night. Flied out to left field in the second inning. Batting average has been sliding a bit here in the last few days. It's at .308 as Cooper stands in. A couple of home runs, 6 RBIs for the left-hand hitter. You watch that sinker of Jin-Ming Wong and Henderson Alvarez, and you wonder how hitters ever elevate at all.
Again, he didn't give up a lot of home runs when he had it working, when he was with the New York Yankees.
That one didn't sink, and you can see the arm drop down a little bit. He kind of got under.
Side-to-side action there on that pitch.
So a 2-out walk to Cooper brings up Rajai Davis. In the third inning, after a couple of strikeouts to start the inning, Brett Laurie was hit by a pitch. Colby Rasmus singled and Bautista was walked. But then Edwin Encarnacion on a tough pitch away was called out looking. This is the third walk issued now by Wong. Davis struck out in the third inning. And that pitch kicks away from the catcher Solano, and he immediately goes out to the mound.
You know what he's saying. Hey, look, we got a 3-0 lead. You got the bottom of the lineup. You got to stop pitching around these guys. Go ahead and throw the ball down the middle.
I find it interesting sometimes how catchers will go to the mound right after they box up a pitch. They don't catch it well. Don't want anybody thinking maybe it was their fault.
He wants to get his pitcher back into the strike zone right here.
Three runs, 6 hits for Washington. No runs, 2 hits for the Blue Jays. Pitch just inside. So 3-0 the count. And if you can force the walk here and get Jeff Mathis to the plate with some of that power, you get the possibility to quickly get back in the ball game.
Take 2 right here. You got to get on base and make him throw you strikes.
Yeah, that sinker is just diving down out of the strike zone. So it does bring up Jeff Mathis.
Jin-Ming Wong this year has averaged 4 walks per 9 innings. He's at that right now. We're only in the 4th inning.
David Johnson trying to take it all in. He has to be very aware of the 4 walks. Wong, 32 years of age now, hails from Taiwan. And Jeff Mathis sees that one run inside.
Well, about that last inning, got the first 2 outs pretty easily and then loaded the bases before picking up a strikeout. Got the first 2 batters here very easily in the 4th, and now he's just lost it.
Right-hander brings it. Mathis taking all the way, takes a strike. And maybe some of that philosophy you were talking about with Rajay Davis at the plate. We're seeing Wong walk a pair back-to-back, 4 on the evening. He's also hit a batter, force him to throw some strikes.
Yeah, he's throwing more balls out of the strike zone than in tonight. There's another one.
Coming into play tonight, right-hand hitters like Mathis were hitting .318 against Wong. Left-hand hitters hitting a cool .407. And one of the 2 hits on the night picked up by left-hand hitting Colby Rasmus as he drilled one into right field. Brett Lowey has the other hit. This pitch got on the hands a bit.
And Jin-Ming Wong this year has been averaging about 15 pitches per inning, which is very good. That'll take you a long way into the ball game. Now at 72 with a couple of outs here in the 4th inning.
He checks his runner at second base, David Cooper. And there's a good sinker at the knees taken. So caught looking is Jeff Mathis. 5th strikeout for Jin-Ming Wong. Now it's time for a Blue Jay Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Jose Cruz Jr. in the BlackBerry broadcast studio. whatever reason, Henderson Alvarez has been struggling pitching here at the Rogers Center in his last 9 games. You can see it with the ERA. Home runs as well, Tom.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. The home runs allowed 9 of them in his last 9 starts here at Rogers Center. It's a good hitter's ballpark, and the ball really flies out of the ballpark. And again, it's just, excuse me, Alan, it's just a pitch here, a pitch there, but for the most part, he has done a good job. Just the home runs have hurt him.
Solano 0 for 1 on his night, grounded out to Escobar in the 3rd inning. Slider is hit on a line, not on the screws, but a base hit to center field to start things in the 5th inning. And hit number 7 for the Nationals. Henderson Alvarez was checking with his infielders at the bag at second base. Who do I throw to in the event a ground ball comes back to the mound? Leadoff man Steve Lombardozzi 0 for 2 on the night.
Tough to double up Lombardozzi. He runs very well. He can handle that bat out of that leadoff spot.
Hitting .282 on his season. Escobar and Johnson have shallowed up just a bit for that double play possibility. And now, after coming set, Alvarez steps off. There he is, Bryce Harper waiting on deck. He has been nothing but tremendous here in the 2 games in the series. Provided the first run for the Nationals with a home run back in the 2nd inning. This foul will find the seats. That was the 3rd inning when Harper homered. And what an impressive shot it was to right center field. It's hard to believe this guy is 19 years of age.
That's where it hit, right there. Right on that Blackberry sign in right center. Really nice distance from home plate.
And we were talking about Bryce Harper. He had 3 hits last night, drew a walk, 2 hits tonight. Looks like he handles lefties and righties. In fact, he's handled lefties statistically better than righties to this point. I don't know what you do when you're facing him. Oh, that pitch is close. Looked like it was right on the money.
Really nice pitch on the inner half. Well, what you want to do is get a ground ball right here and try and get a double play, so when he does come up, there's nobody on base. Alvarez very good at doing that.
The 2-2 on the hands, grounded past Edwin into right field. Stopping at second base is the catcher Solano. So back-to-back hits, 8 on the night now for the Nationals.
And he did get the ball on the ground, but it finds a hole on the right side. A very short swing from Lombardozzi. Looks a lot like his father, who used to play for the Minnesota Twins. Played on that '87 championship Minnesota Twins team. So that sets it up for Bryce Harper.
Yeah, this is not ideal for the Blue Jays and Henderson Alvarez. That batting average has just continually climbed upward since Harper has come to Toronto. It has been the Bryce Harper show.
No one in baseball has been hotter than Bryce Harper over the last 3 weeks. Now 28 hits, 14 RBIs, and 11 walks since May the 20th. Only other major league player can say that, Albert Pujols.
You know, they try to come in, see if you can get that hard sinker on the hands of the left-hand hitter. Well, that pitch was right through the heart of the plate. We talk about that home run from Bryce Harper. Take a look at it.
Tried to get a pitch on the outer half and down, and it was elevated right off the sign in right center field. That was home run number 7. Good plate coverage and a pretty decent idea at the plate of what he wants to do.
Defensively, what do you do with a guy that hits it all over the field like Bryce Harper has done on the course of the season?
Well, you move the ball around and you try and mix it up, your pitches. You don't fall into a pattern. But his ability to adjust has been pretty impressive.
He hits a ground ball. Edwin will go to Unell for 1 and back to first. And that speed of Bryce Harper able to leg it out so they don't get the double play. Fielder's choice 3-6 erasing the leadoff man Steve Lombardozzi.
That's a tough double play to turn. The 3-6-1 double play to a left-handed batter who can run. And Harper can run. This is the finishing play. There's Alvarez, stretches, and you can see just before the ball gets in the glove of Alvarez, Harper beats it out. Plays the game the right way. He's got a lot of speed, too.
Well, you can see no lack of effort there. We know about his tools, but he was digging in. First and third for the Nationals. Try to extend this 3-0 lead. 3-hitter Ryan Zimmerman at the plate. Again, double play depth for the Blue Jays. Bullpen for the Blue Jays still quiet. Keep in mind, the bullpen for the Blue Jays last night had to pitch all 9 innings.
So they're hoping Alvarez goes deep into this game. They have brought up a couple of reinforcements to help him through.
There's the ground ball to short. Escobar to Johnson and back to Edwin, and they get the big double play. So Alvarez on the slider gets the ground ball he wanted and needed, and keeps his Blue Jays trailing 3-0. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone, or guests of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Brett Lawrie leads it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Henderson Alvarez got a big pitch to get the ground ball for the double play, so no further damage from the Nats resulted in the top of this frame. Brett Lawrie tried to steal a bag back in the 1st inning. He might have gotten a little more than he bargained for.
Bill Frost has got some work to cut out for him before tomorrow's game. Clubhouse manager for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Jose Bautista always providing advice to teammates. Brett Lawrie was seeking a bit, maybe just wanting to know exactly what to expect in a certain situation with Wong on the hill.
Now the third time through the lineup of Chien-Ming Wong stay with what has gotten him here so far.
Intriguing that those two guys, Lawrie and Bautista, are the two that have reached both times they've come to the plate tonight. Bautista with a couple of walks. Lawrie has singled and been hit by a pitch. Chien-Ming Wong with the 3-1 count. He's already walked 4 and hit a man. Blue Jays had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, couldn't score. Encarnacion struck out. They had runners at first and second with 2 outs in the 4th inning, and Mathis struck out. And Brett Lawrie draws the walk to start things. Colby Rasmus has been a hot hitter the last couple of ball games, just crushing some baseballs.
Yeah, the swing looks very short. It looks very compact. He looks very confident at the plate. Look where those pitches are. They're in. Yeah. And he's still very quick to get to it.
Colby Rasmus in the 3rd inning, when he singled, hit one every bit as hard as those 2 balls.
Yeah, just could not get the ball elevated against Chien-Ming Wong. And he looks very comfortable in the number 2 slot.
Chien-Ming Wong has seen the Blue Jays run on him tonight. Lawrie back in the 1st inning. He also had Lawrie running in the 3rd inning. Jose Bautista has stolen a bag. That was 3rd and came in the 1st inning. So the Blue Jays feel they can run on Chien-Ming Wong.
You have to, I think, to stay out of the double play. He's got one of the best ground ball to fly ball ratios in baseball. There's Chien-Ming Wong. His career ground ball to fly ball is almost 3 to 1, 4th highest among active pitchers with at least 100 starts. So it's not a bad idea to stay out of the double play by starting that runner.
Little meeting at the mound. Always good when the shortstop can provide some information. I always wonder, in fact, many a time as a catcher out there at the mound and watch infielders come, and always was curious to see what they might have to say to the pitcher.
Probably something cute, right?
You know, not sure I ever heard anything overly useful other than for a chuckle. Rasmus hits one sharply on a hop, but right at Espinosa. His only out will be at first base, as this ball just ate him up.
He still had thoughts, though, of getting that lead runner and keeping the double play in order. The ball had a lot of topspin on it from Rasmus, and you're right, it really handcuffs the second baseman. He catches it, he thinks about it, looks, and then says, you know what, we've got to get it out somewhere.
We've seen Espinosa make some great plays here in this series to this point. This one ate him up, and now gives Jose Bautista a chance to get something going offensively for the club. Fastball, another one that runs away. When he hit Lawrie in the 3rd inning, it was same type of pitch, fastball running up and in, that got a piece of the wrist of Brett Lawrie. We mentioned Bautista with a couple of walks on his night.
A couple last night also. Just are not going to give him anything to hit with somebody on base.
Shift on the infield. And Wong going to come with that slider off the outside edge. Detweiler loosening up for the Nationals in the pen now, and Chien-Ming Wong just in his 3rd start with the Nats on the season, so you don't know how far he could have gone anywhere.
He's got a hamstring problem earlier this year that landed him on the disabled list. So I'm sure he is on a pitch count. Very windy night here at Rogers Center. Get one up in that wind.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit there at 90 miles an hour. When you're trying to jack one and turn it around to left field. That inner third of the plate is exactly what you generally would be looking for. Two and one, good hitters count. And that fastball is really starting to get away from Wong now, and likely an indicator that he's tiring.
The legs are tiring. He just doesn't have the finish out in front that he needs to finish off that good sinker. Again, they haven't pitched to Bautista the first 2 games in this series.
They have now, and they're paying the price. See ya. Jose Bautista, a 2-run bomb, and the Blue Jays are back in it.
You know, one way to take the ball out of the ballpark against a sinker ball pitcher is make him get the ball up. And if they get it up, it's going to get hit hard, and Jose Bautista does just that.
Number 18 for Jose, now 46 RBIs.
Watch where this pitch is, about letter high on the inner half, when he tomahawks it out of the ballpark quickly. Got it up into the wind and just shoots it out in left field.
So Edwin Encarnacion stands in, now down a home run in that home run race on the Blue Jays side. Jose Bautista has awakened that home run bat. There's the outside corner.
Boy, he just looks dangerous at the plate right now, the way he is laying off some of those borderline pitches, just taking them and then unleashing that quick bat.
Jose Bautista back in the month of April hit 181 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. In May, he turned it around in pretty good fashion, 257 batting average while homering 9 times, 22 RBIs in that month. And now in June, this is his 6th home run already.
Edwin Encarnacion has been hitting home runs with regularity. That time had home run on his mind, looking to go back to back.
2-2 hit high in the air and deep toward left center. Does he have enough? Lombardozzi on the track will make the catch. So we've talked about Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion being among the leaders in terms of home runs around Major League Baseball. There are your American League leaders.
Tied with Curtis Granderson for 3rd in the American League. Adam Dunn has already hit more home runs this year than he hit last year. What a year he has put together.
Kelly Johnson stands in, has a big rip. Well, Adam Dunn has really turned things around, but he almost had to based on the numbers, that very unfortunate numbers he put up a year ago. Johnson drills one right over the third baseman Zimmerman. Well, the Blue Jays starting to get to it a bit here in the 5th inning.
Well, the pitches from Chien-Ming Wong this inning just don't have that life to it that we saw in the first couple of innings. Not a lot of depth to that breaking ball. It stays on a hitting plane a little bit longer, and it's down to the reach of Zimmerman for a base hit. I'm sure Davey Johnson wants to get his starter through 5 innings here. Give him a chance at the W, but now he is up on that first step.
So Unell at the plate. There's that up and in fastball, a pitch that doesn't dive, and a pitch that when you're facing a guy like Wong, you'd love to have over and over again. Escobar 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. Took a very nice play by Espinosa, the second baseman, to get him in the 2nd inning. Torey Lovullo with that stopwatch quickly provides a time, something for his base runner to know what he can do. And again, on that inner portion of the plate, Escobar just watching it.
Got plenty of the plate also. Johnson a threat to steal over there at first base. 7 for 8 this year in stolen bases, so a threat to go, especially with 2 strikes now. A little bit larger lead for Kelly.
Up and in. This one breaks the bat. Espinosa finally able to get a grip and throw out Escobar, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 5th. But they get a pair of runs on 2 hits. There was a key walk. Jose Bautista just slamming away as he launches one to left. You to follow the Blue Jays on Twitter. And by the way, time now for our Twitter Tuesday fan question of the game. With Morrow out for an unknown time, what's the likelihood of the Blue Jays making a trade happen sooner rather than later?
Well, I think they're always looking around anytime they feel like they can improve their ball club, especially on the pitching end. They're always looking around. It just has to match. You know, it's tough to say, well, we got to go out and get a starting pitching. Everybody's looking for starting pitching. It is tough to go out there and try and find a match with another organization. Their best bet would probably have to be through their own organization, through their farm system, and find somebody down there. And my bet, Jesse Chavez.
Yeah, that would be mine as well.
He showed everything when he pitched in Texas.
Adam LaRose flies out for the first out here in the 6th.
Came in, I believe, for Kyle Drayback and threw 5 very good innings against an excellent team of the Texas Rangers. So we found out tonight that Brandon Morrow is going to go on the disabled list. So that would be my guess.
Yeah, and it makes sense, quite frankly, to have Brandon Morrow get on the DL. If you know it's going to happen, if it's the 99% sure thing to happen, go ahead and get it done and get an extra bat here in the meantime. Here's a broken bat ground on the right side. Mike Morse gets severely tied up as he grounds out. So how valuable is Brandon Morrow? Well,
look at the numbers themselves. They don't lie. A 301 earned run average and a 1 whip. That is compared to the rest of the starters. ERA of 1.3, too many walks, and an ERA just over 4. So his leadership, his innings that he gives the Blue Jays, 3 complete games this year to help out that bullpen. So we'll see.
3 complete games, tied for the best in the major leagues. 3 shutouts, best in the major leagues. And John Farrell has to deal with all that. The youngsters like Kyle Drayback, you would think it's a time to step up.
That's what I think. You know, guys have to show improvement during the year, and with an injury, everybody can take their game to the next level.
High chopper to short. Escobar will charge and fire high, but Edwin handles it in a 1-2-3 inning for Henderson Alvarez. So he tightens it up a bit here in the 6th inning as his Blue Jays have closed the gap to 3-2. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. And a new pitcher on now for these Washington Nationals. Chien-Ming Wang winds up working 5 innings. Left-hander Ross Detweiler will pick it up.
This is Detweiler, who was a first-round draft pick, 6th overall in 2007 by the Washington Nationals. Left-handed thrower. He was a starter down in the minor leagues for the Washington Nationals, and he has flip-flopped back and forth between the bullpen and starts for Washington in his career. His last appearance was Friday at Boston. Pitched a couple of innings, gave up 3 hits and an earned run. So Chien-Ming Wang's night is over after 5 innings. Sets a season high in strikeouts with 5 and leaves with the lead.
We've seen 3 home runs this evening. Couple for the Nationals. David Cooper leads it off. Hits one in the air and deep to center field. Ankiel back at the wall, and he'll make that catch. Detweiler pleased that he got away with that one. The pitching line for Chien-Ming Wang on the night. There's the 5 innings Tabby talked about. 4 hits allowed. A couple of earned runs. They come out on the Jose Bautista home run. 5 walks would be the one thing that really jumps out along with the 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, pushes up that pitch count for Chien-Ming Wang. If they get 5 innings out of their starter tonight, he threw 5 1/3 his last time out and gave up 8 hits.
Watch Rajai Davis before today's game, before regular batting practice, working on his bunting. Dropping bunts down the third base line, trying to keep it very close to the line, and then pushing bunts toward the second baseman, and that's what he tried here. And now Rajai with an 0-2 count. Davis has struck out and walked. That curveball in the dirt, and Davis can't lay off. Solano blocks it and fires on down to first.
Interleague strikeout. Rajai Davis not familiar with Ross Detweiler and what he likes to throw when he gets to 2 strikes. A big overhand curveball, so he swings at a pitch in the dirt.
Now, scouting reports would know all about the pitches. How difficult is it for a hitter to, rather than just have it in his own memory bank, take it from a scouting report and take it to the field?
You know what? You can look at all the scouting reports you want, and you can look at all the tape that you want, but there's no substitution for standing in that batter's box and watching that ball come out of the hand of that pitcher and get a feel for what he's trying to do to you.
Jeff Mathis has struck out twice tonight, hits one to center field and handled by Ankiel, and that'll do it. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays. So Ross Detweiler comes on and shuts him down quickly. 3-2, Nats on top. At the ballpark, a chance to remind you to follow your favorite Blue Jays all year long. Guys like Joey Bats, Ricky Rowe, Brett Laurie, they're all there. Check them out on Twitter. Jose Bautista's there. He's also been a big factor here in tonight's ball game. A 2-run home run coming in the 5th inning. It was a 3-0 Washington lead to that point. Brett Laurie had led off the inning with a walk, and out later Jose Bautista launched a line shot into the Blue Jays bullpen in left field, and now the Jays down a run. Henderson Alvarez coming off a 1-2-3 6th inning. He'll face the bottom 3 in the order for the Nats.
This is the guy who's been tough on Henderson Alvarez tonight. A double and home run for Espinosa. Action in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. So looks like John Farrell wants to keep it close, and if Alvarez runs into some trouble here in the 7th inning, he's got some relief ready to go.
Bruce Walton, one of the game's fine pitching coaches. Aaron Oliver getting it loose in that pen in left field. There's a changeup, has Espinosa out in front. Espinosa with his 2 hits, the double. A line shot over the head of Rajay Davis in left field in the 2nd inning, and then launched a home run straight away to center field in the 4th inning. So despite the fact it is just his 6th home run of the year, really flexing the muscles. That was impressive.
He hit 21 home runs last year with the Washington Nationals as a second baseman. It's pretty decent numbers right there. 21 home runs for Espinosa.
That was an odd last pitch. Slider that came back to the plate, and Jeff Mathis looked like he was completely fooled. Yeah, when you can get a second baseman with the tools that Danny Espinosa has at this stage of his career, boy, that is quite a boost.
And good pitch. Boy, Alvarez wanted that one, and he thought he got it.
Had good reason to want that.
Wow.
That's a natural reaction. He did nothing more than what I think any pitcher would do at the very least on that pitch.
Yeah, he wanted it. Let's see if he caught the plate. Boy, that's on the black.
Yeah. That's painting it. And now gets the ball hit on the ground up the middle. Escobar had him to play that direction as he makes the play. Let's go for an update. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Adam Jones has not slowed down at all for Baltimore, having a terrific season. With one out, center fielder Rick Ankiel stands in. And Adam Jones can flat play center field.
Oh. He can run, he can throw, he can hit for power. He's stealing bases this year.
Pitch is grounded to second, so Alvarez is really starting to settle in. That's now 7 in a row he's retired. But the Nationals picked up their 3 runs early in the ball game.
And just one of those outs on a ball in the air. You know he's right when he starts to get those ground balls.
Of the last 6, I think that's 7 outs, 7 hitters to the plate. Only 1 ball hit in the air. That by Adam LaRoche as he flied out in the 6th inning. And now the 9-hitter, the catcher Solano at the plate. Looks like Alvarez has caught a groove. That sinker right on the hands.
Yeah, moving that ball in and out now. Staying down. Look at some of the numbers in his last start. I thought he was pretty good in Chicago using his fastball. He threw 8 changeups and 9 sliders, and the rest of them were fastballs. So it's a big pitch for him.
There's the breaking ball, and it's crushed to left field. This one is getting out, and it finds the bullpen. Breaking ball left up by Alvarez, and he yields his 3rd home run on the night.
Boy, just when we were talking about the fastball, the usage of the fastball, and how it is diving and staying down, he hangs a breaking ball. And he makes one mistake once again, and the batter on an 0-2 pitch. The number 9 hitter, he doesn't foul it off or pop it up. He hits it into the bullpen for another home run. Now that's 16 home runs he's given up this year.
And the first major league home run for Jonathan Solano. Home runs allowed in the American League. Look at some of the guys who have a tendency to give them up. Irvin Santana heads that list. But Henderson Alvarez is hard charging.
That shocks me. It shocks me with the type of stuff that we have seen from him this year. And when he has the ability to do that, with that last pitch we saw, how it's got late movement and it's down and away. And then misses one time. And they knocked it out of the ballpark.
We mentioned that first home run of his career for Solano. Also his first RBI right here. So what happens when you get number 1?
Nobody wants to talk to you. He comes into the dugout and nobody says a word.
Pitch is hit in the air to center field, easy for Rasmus. So Alvarez looked sharp in the inning, but still yields that solo home run to the 9-hitter Solano as the Nationals pick up another. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, a couple of runs to pick up. 4-2 Nats lead it. Tuesday is July 3rd with the Royals in town. Great prizes to be won, including a chance to throw out the first pitch. Autographed merchandise and T-shirts. For tickets, call 416-341-1234. You can go to BlueJays.com, as well as most Rogers Plus locations. Ross Detweiler in for his second inning. Intriguing numbers on Henderson Alvarez tonight. He's given up 14 ground balls. Just 7 balls have been hit in the air. 4 for outs, and 3 have gone out of the ballpark.
For a sinker ball pitcher, that's astonishing.
It is. Bryce Harper with a third inning home run. That was a solo job. In the 4th inning, Danny Espinosa hit a 2-run bomb. This ball hit sharply, but right at Harper in right field, and it kind of feels like one of those times where when you do hit it hard, you hit it at somebody.
Stayed right with that one. Those are the type of baseballs that tend to get up in the light standards there. And he stayed right with it. Hit on a line by Laurie into right field. He's thinking extra bases and got to make a U-turn back to the dugout.
On that pitch down and away in the strike zone, that's about as much as you can do with that pitch. Just hit it right on the money. So we were talking about the home runs for the Nationals. Danny Espinosa hit the second one, a 2-run job in the 4th inning, and then a solo job, first of his career, for Jonathan Solano, the catcher. That coming in the top of this 7th inning. Colby Rasmus 1 for 3 with a single. He's hit 2 balls right on the money. One of those, a one-hopper to second base that ate up Espinosa, who eventually threw him out. But in the 3rd inning, Rasmus could not have centered a ball up anymore as he singled to right field. Detweiler looks like he could create a pretty tough angle for left-hand hitters.
Yeah, lefty's just hitting 132 against him this year. Hides the ball well. Throws across his body to those lefties. Got plenty of fastball. He came up last year with the Washington Nationals to make a spot start and pitched so well he never went back to the minors.
This pitching staff for the Washington Nationals, best in ERA in the major leagues. Here's a drive to right field. Is it enough at the track? Harper has it. So Rasmus appeared to get jammed just a hair.
Colby stands right on top of that plate, just daring you to throw the ball in the inner half, and he's right on it. He catches it just a hair on the end of the bat. That's just something that he has been doing over his last 21 games. .318 average and an OPS over 1,000. He had 3 home runs through his first 45 games this year. Now 6 homers through his last 15. So he is on a roll right now.
And David Johnson will turn to the pen. Ross Detweiler has to feel pretty fortunate with some of the balls and the swings he saw here in this inning. Right-hander coming on. Nationals go to their bullpen once again. Right-hander, 28 years of age. Craig Stammen comes in. He's 3-0 on the year in 23 previous appearances and a glowing ERA of 1.80.
Another one of those pitchers out of the bullpen that is ranked very high for the Washington Nationals. Stammen gets a lot of ground ball outs. He's got a fastball, curveball, which is probably his best pitch, and a decent changeup comes right after you.
So righty versus righty. Jose Bautista crushed that home run, his 18th on the season. His last at bat, that was in the 5th inning with Brett Laurie aboard. All the Blue Jays scoring on the night. He's also drawn a pair of walks. Bautista with 46 RBIs now to lead the Jays.
He is a strikeout pitcher among relievers in the National League. He's tied for 8th with 32.
Little front door slider that finds the inside corner at the bottom of the knees.
Fastball slider. He's got a good curveball, decent changeup. He too was a starter in the minor leagues for the Washington Nationals, so he's got all 4 pitches.
15 of Jose's 18 home runs against right-hand pitching this year. And now the count even at 2-2. Of course, you always have to factor in that hitters see far more right-hand pitchers than they do lefties, but just 3 home runs against the southpaws. Sliders hit sharply and fair inside the bag at third. Jose Bautista has his second hit as he digs for second base. The throw comes in late. A 2-out double for Bautista.
Just keeping it fair down the left field line. Bautista, another breaking ball from Stammen. And this time Jose smokes it between Zimmerman and the bag and down into that corner. Another extra base hit for Bautista. And just like that, the tying run comes to the plate.
This is one of the really big surprises for me on the season with Jose Bautista. The batting average being low would be 1, but this double just his 8th of the season. And now Edwin Encarnacion a chance to get the Blue Jays back even with one big swing. Craig Stammen looks like he relies a lot on that little slider. Again, little down breaker right there.
Everybody's got a role in the bullpen. They'll have left-handed relievers. They'll have left-handed specialists. The closer, the setup man, the long man. And right now, Davey Johnson trying to get to his closer.
Edwin stays back with that breaking ball. A little bigger job, maybe a curveball. Blue Jays lead the American League in power hitters, a pair on the ball club, and you see the likely duo.
Best in the American League, Bautista and Encarnacion, 35 home runs between them. So it's very tough to get through the middle of the Blue Jay lineup.
It's curious about the numbers on Craig Stammen as he came on. Davey Johnson brings him in to face Bautista, and again, Bautista's hit the vast majority of his home runs against right-hand pitching. And Bautista eventually doubles, but right-hand hitters had hit just 205 against Stammen on the season, although he's been effective against lefties as well, hitting just 216. Here's that bigger down-breaking, likely curveball.
Lots of breaking balls. Again, he was a starter in the minor leagues for the Nationals. So he's got some length if you need him. He's got all the pitches.
Two and two on Edwin. And he chops one foul again and hobbles around. Edwin's been banging on that lead foot a number of times of late.
It always feels better when you get a base hit after you hit it off the top of your shoe. Another breaking ball. That time it ricocheted off his leg.
That might have been the back leg where that ball hit him. It's unusual. And now 3-2. Kelly Johnson waiting on deck. The Nationals have a left-hander throwing in their pen, but Davy Johnson ready for the possibilities.
That's Mike Gonzalez now warming up if Stammen would lose Encarnacion here.
There goes Jose from second. Curveball hit high and deep toward left center. Going back, Anchio with room on the track. The second straight at bat for Edwin that he has flied out to the warning track out in left center field. And Edwin has to be very frustrated at the moment. Blue Jays have a hit and leave a man. It's 4-2 Washington. For the Washington Nationals, and now it's time for the smart play of the game, brought to you by Budweiser. Why not grab some buds? Please enjoy responsibly.
Good hitters put their scouting reports together, and they know that Henderson Alvarez is the best on the Blue Jays at first pitch strikes. And Bryce Harper is waiting for that first pitch from Henderson Alvarez, and he sends it to dead center field for a home run in the third inning. Smart hitter Bryce Harper with that home run.
Blue Jays turn to the bullpen with Darren Oliver, the left-hander who has been so good. The fountain of youth apparently has been found somewhere along the line. 41 years of age, Oliver with an ERA of 171. And now Harper bunts toward first, and Edwin can't handle it, and Harper will beat it out. They have ruled this a base hit. Edwin Encarnacion had a play.
Yeah, do or die play at first base. He was playing deep, and the left-hander coming in. Harper said, I'm going to take a shot. And bunting the ball past Oliver, and he's got a shot right here. Do or die catch, and he could make the play with a lot of English on that ball. See that ball take a weird hop after it hit the turf.
I don't know. Seen some infielders get ruled with errors on very sharply hit balls, and now this ball bounced up for Edwin. He just couldn't handle it. So a leadoff single, third hit of the night for Harper. He had 3 in last night's series opener.
Watch the English. The ball hits and just doesn't come off.
Or did he take the eyes off? Pretty tough to tell there with Edwin. When it's all said and done, really didn't get leather on it. Bryce Harper has stolen 4 bags, caught a couple of times this year, and there he goes, and he's picked off. Edwin's throw is right on the money as Kelly Johnson applies the tag. So a couple of times in the series now, Bryce Harper, despite being on base nonstop, gets thrown out on the bases.
Good job by Edwin Encarnacion to create a lane to throw to second base. Watch as he moves to the inner part of the diamond, and that gives him a window to throw to Kelly Johnson to pick off Harper at first.
It's exactly the way you do it, and Edwin took off early, and that is perfection on that play. Zimmerman takes outside.
Yeah, you can't catch that ball and stand at the bag and then hope to get it over that shoulder of the runner. You just don't give that second baseman a good look at the baseball.
So that's the third time Harper's been caught stealing on the season. Well, he is really fun to watch. Jose Bautista threw him out trying to stretch to third base last night. Can't fault a guy for trying to be aggressive and make things happen.
You know, I think he's learning.
Yeah.
You know, young player. But when you talk to a lot of the Washington Nationals people, they say he learns and then he doesn't do that same mistake. And I guess that's all you can ask for with a young player.
He's just wide-eyed. He looks like he's just trying to take it all in, and while he does, he is dealing. 2-2 got him looking. So Oliver able to paint it to strike out Zimmerman. Second time he's gone down on strikes tonight. Henderson Alvarez wound up working 7 innings for the Blue Jays tonight. It was kind of a little of the good side and little on the other side, with the home runs being the other side.
Second straight start that he gets 7 innings for Alvarez. 9 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts for Henderson Alvarez. Again, the home run ball hurting the young right-hander tonight.
Left-hand hitting Adam LaRoche at the plate. 1 for 3 with a double. That was his 15th coming in the 4th inning. Well, Henderson Alvarez continues to have that one issue of not striking out many, as he has a night where he strikes out 3. Looked like overall he had good stuff. Nice effort there trying to pick the outside edge by Oliver.
I thought he did have good stuff. At times had a very good sinking fastball and got good movement on it.
That's a nice job by Mathis. With 2 strikes, you never know when you're going to get that check swing, and you've got to be able to keep that ball in front of you when it's in the dirt. All out effort. You know you've called the breaking ball, and so when you see it out of the hand, you realize you've got to make that quick move. Catchers will look at hitters, trying to figure out if there's something special going on, see if eyes might be peeking. And a slow curveball gets him. A couple of strikeouts for Oliver in this 8th inning. And now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Jose Cruz Jr. in the Blackberry broadcast studio. copy of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. With the Nats on top 4-2, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Nats turn to their pen once again as they bring in left-hander Sean Burnett, who pitched in last night's game as well.
What a year Sean Burnett is putting together for the Washington Nationals. Now 26th appearance of the season, a 135 earned run average. Look at the batting average against versus the righties and the lefties. 6 walks and 23 strikeouts for Burnett. He has had a great first half of the season.
And yet it was Yan Gomes who, as a pinch hitter, hit a 2-run home run in the 9th inning against Burnett last night. It's Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, and David Cooper for the Blue Jays against the left-hander. Johnson grounds one, a fair ball over the bag at first base, handled nicely by LaRoche. He'll feed Burnett for the first out. Yunel Escobar has grounded out to second base 3 times on his evening. 0 for 3, the batting average at .247.
Want a better tasting burger? Then step up to the plate for a sirloin Uncle Burger at A&W. Made with 5 ounces of juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Escobar watching that first pitch. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Nationals, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Blue Jays. Errorless evening. Just a gorgeous evening here in Toronto. Pitch is popped up on the right side. Espinosa, the second baseman, calling in shallow right. He'll put it away. And now an update with Jamie Campbell. Is Joey Votto headed toward another National League MVP award?
Absolutely.
You think so? You're not even going to puzzle about that one, huh?
Man, he is doing it all.
And now J.P. Arancibia grabs the bat. He'll bat for David Cooper here in this 8th inning. Cooper, by the way, in the 6th inning faced the left-hander and flied out deep to center field. But John Farrell wants to see the right-handed bat here. Arancibia pops it up. This on the left side should be handled at short by Desmond. Stares up into that darkening sky and makes the catch in a 1-2-3 and quick 8th inning. So these Washington Nationals in their bullpen getting it done as they lead it. Blue Jays turn to their bullpen once again as right-hander Jason Frazier comes on. Third pitcher, make that fourth pitcher of the evening for the Blue Jays.
Second straight night for Jason Frazier to come into a ball game to face the Nationals. And last night's an inning, a couple of hits. He's had a good fastball season long. He spots it in and out, and a good changeup. He is leading the club now in holds with 7. Look at the strikeouts per 9 innings, 11.5.
Still has that good fastball, a guy that you would never guess it if you just looked at him physically, but has one of those arms. Mike Morse, the DH for the Nats, stands in. 1 for 3 on his night. Since that second inning single, has twice grounded out. Well, he gets the extension before he even swings it.
Got a lot of plate coverage. He's got his hands out there. He uses a big bat. Look at the size of that bat that he has.
At about 250 pounds at 6 feet 5, I think he could probably swing anything he wants. I really think that Jose Canseco comparison is fair. Well, that's a good pitch at the knees inside corner.
Doesn't have the type of bat speed that Canseco had
in the heyday,
but the same type of body type.
Yeah.
And power.
31 home runs a year ago says something was working. Used to play against a guy, little second baseman with the Giants, Robbie Thompson.
Sure.
Would use an interlocking golf grip. Is that what we're seeing here?
Certainly looks like it, where the top hand overlaps the bottom hand from Mike Morse.
Could be the Varden overlap. Fouls it to the seats down the right field side. Let's take a closer look at that grip. Yeah. Maybe not the interlock, but he's got that Varden overlap going.
Yeah, the top hand overlaps the bottom hand. The bottom hand is most important when it grips the bat. That's where you get all your power and your speed, and the top hand really guides the head of the bat through the strike zone.
A lot of guys release the top hand anyway. Jeff Mathis takes one in the mask. Well, you think of Josh Hamilton. He's kind of one of those one-handed swingers. He gets the great extension doing so.
The guy with great bat speed, Josh Hamilton.
What were those eyes looking at? Like he took a glance toward right field. Really had no option on this pitch other than to hit it to right field. Nationals have picked up 3 home runs on the night to put their 4 runs on the board. The Blue Jays 1 home run, a 2-run job by Jose Bautista in the 5th inning, his 18th of the season. Other than that, the Blue Jays have had a tough time getting anything going. Morse gets jammed as he pops it up on the right side. Edwin in foul territory. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. How scary can it get on the range?
I don't know.
I've got to know.
The driving range?
Yeah. With 1 out, it brings up the shortstop Ian Desmond, who's 0 for 3.
I know if I'm hitting next to you, you're in danger.
Well, you know, we can make it scary on the range. I'm not sure about Tiger Woods. How does he do that? Desmond's had one of those nights. He's grounded into a double play. He has struck out and then grounded out.
Singled off of Jason in last night's ball game.
Desmond is one of the key players on this successful Nats club. He's the count at 3-0.
Pitch there.
Was that outside black? Bryce Harper having another huge night.
You and I were talking with Randy Knorr, the bench coach for the Washington Nationals this afternoon, and he managed in this system, the Washington system. He had all these kids, Desmond and Espinosa, Harper, all of them in the minor leagues.
And when you ask Randy Knorr about Bryce Harper in particular, he just talks about what a nice young man he is. Randy Knorr, former major league catcher, and he's done some minor league managing and played right here with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, won a couple of World Series rings for the Blue Jays in '92 and '93.
Randy Knorr was known in Houston as crash test dummy. Pitches foul down the right side. I don't really know. The guys said he looked like that dummy in the car that they have all the
commercials
with. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Good baseball man right there. He was saying that he and Desmond, when he first started out, and Desmond would get down, he said, son, you're going to play in the big leagues. And he said he'd look at him and say, really? He goes, yeah, you have what it takes to play in the big leagues, so keep your head up and keep playing hard.
Frazier keeps battling that strike zone.
And he has what it takes to play a premium position on a good team.
Randy couldn't run, but Randy did a lot of other things quite well.
Called a good game. He was a catcher. He'll manage in the big league someday.
Yeah, I think so. Another 3-2 just outside. So a one-out walk to Desmond. That's the first walk issued by Blue Jays pitching on the evening. Going to bring up the second baseman, Danny Espinosa, who is 2 for 3 on the night, doubled and homered in his first 2 at-bats of the evening. That home run straight away center field. Not off to a great start with the batting average, hitting .234. But he has driven the ball a couple of times tonight. The double in the second inning, a line drive that got over Rajai Davis in left field very quickly. That little splitter changeup from Frazier misses in the dirt. Talk about these Nationals and what a fine young club they are. Danny Espinosa, just 25 years of age. Another one of the real good ball players that came out of Long Beach State. Bruce Walton goes out to the mound.
There have been a few of those players coming out of Long Beach State over the last couple of years, especially middle infielders.
Well, this is quite a talking to Jason Frazier appears to be getting here from Bruce Walton. Now, I will say this. With Danny Espinosa at the plate, a switch hitter batting left-handed, he has torn up right-hand pitching. Or rather, torn up the lefties, but right-hand pitchers have gotten him very handily. Frazier turns and lobs to first base. See this oftentimes with Jason, as if not certain about what to do toward the plate, and then he just lobs to first.
No problem doing that. Set your sights back. Looks like they're going to throw back over to first base. There it is. That sign came from Jeff Mathis that time. Just in case they want to put a hit and run on. Guy can handle the bat at the plate. Some speed at first. Looking for an add-on run.
Pitches outside. We just saw Evan Crawford warming in the Blue Jays pen. He got called up after last night's game. Darren Laffey as well. So a couple of left-handers now up from the minor leagues to help out in the bullpen for the Blue Jays.
9 innings in last night's game from the bullpen. So they have 4 lefties and 4 righties. Chad Beck sent back down after last night's game. And Jan Gomes also sent back down. The Blue Jays are going to make another move from what we understand after tonight's ball game.
What do you say when you're sending down Jan Gomes? He just pinch hit and hit a home run. He's had pinch hits successfully done in the last 2 at-bats he's been sent to the plate. That's a tough assignment.
Yep.
Runner goes on the 3-0. It's a strike. The throw down is not. And now did that foot come off the bag, as we saw with Brett Laurie early in the game. So a stolen base for Ian Desmond.
Measuring Ian Desmond. Escobar's thinking that the foot comes off. Yeah, it does come off.
I guess it did.
A little help from the shortstop.
I think the Blue Jays recently saw that. One of their opponents, maybe down in Atlanta, I'm trying to recall, possibly Chicago, pulled that, and it may have been against Escobar. So he's got a new toy to play with. On the hands. Count will run full. Stolen base by Desmond, the first on the night for these Nationals. The Blue Jays picked one up in the first inning. Jose Bautista got it as he nabbed third base.
And right now, Ian Desmond is looking in and trying to get a sign to see if I can try and steal third. He has got Jason Frazier's routine down on the mound.
Hard to believe watching Danny Espinosa that he's hit just 184 coming into play tonight against right-hand pitching, the way he has swung the bat here this evening. Frazier gets him with the heat right through the heart of the plate. So 2 down here in the inning. We'll bring up the power hitting center fielder Rick Ankiel.
Told you he's got a good fastball. Blows that one right by Espinosa.
6 strikeouts for Blue Jays hitting. And John Farrell is going to come out and make a change to the bullpen, bringing on the left-hander. Was started here on Sportsnet at 12 o'clock, and then tomorrow night a lot of great baseball action coming up. The Yankees at Atlanta, that'll be on Ontario and Pacific. Boston at Miami, that's on East, and the White Sox will be in St. Louis with the Cardinals on West.
Some good pitching matchups there. Jake Peavy and Lance Lynn in that White Sox Cardinal game. This is Evan Crawford, 3rd time that he has been brought back to the major leagues from the minor leagues. The left-hander now, there are his numbers in the 8 games that he has faced.
Starts things with a hanging curveball for a called strike on Ankiel. Ankiel shakes the head a little bit, maybe thinking it's a bit up out of the strike zone. Crawford, 25 years of age, now in his 9th outing of the season.
He has shown a good fastball while he was here from the left side. About 93, 94 when he reaches back. He threw a lot of curveballs now in the second time we saw him. First time here he threw good fastball, good curveball, but then the second time it seemed like he was throwing more fastballs. Didn't use that good hook that we've seen.
He's allowed 10 hits in 7 1/3 innings. And misses low. 2-1 the count. When you get the chances as a left-hander coming in out of the bullpen, you better get those left-handed outs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get him out. Strike him out.
Yep.
Get a ground ball, but throw strikes.
That's an assignment that for a left-handed pitcher can last for decades even. There's a curveball that works right through the heart of the plate.
And that'll help right there when you get that good breaking ball over in fastball counts. Every left-hander who sticks around a long time and pitches out of the bullpen can spot that breaking ball anytime he wants to.
Ankiel does a nice job laying off that curveball in the dirt. Crawford, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays. It's been Alvarez, Oliver, Frazier, and now Crawford. Hangs another one as it's fouled off. So Crawford, you can't call this sharp when you're leaving that curveball up in the strike zone through the heart of the plate. But he's still alive with a 3-2 count. For the Nationals on the hill tonight, it's been Chien-Ming Wang, followed by Ross Detweiler, Craig Stammen, and Sean Burnett. Breaking ball, chop foul. What an arm this guy has. Rick Ankiel, former pitcher, and we talked to some of the Nats people about his arm in the outfield. They will tell you it is second to none. Ground ball to first, backhanded by Edwin. He'll sprint to the bag, and that'll do it for the Nats in this 9th inning. So the Blue Jays trail by a couple of runs. They've got work to do with the bats, and they'll start it with the 8-9 hitters. leading the American League East. This division has a chance to be topsy-turvy all season long. For the bottom of the 9th inning, with the Blue Jays trailing at 4-2, the Nats go to the bullpen. Right-hander Tyler Clippard comes on. 27-year-old has 8 saves on the year. That's not the most out of that pen for these Washington Nats. Henry Rodriguez has 9 to lead the club. Tyler Clippard 1-2 with an ERA at 2.30.
They have suffered some problems at the back end of their bullpen. First of all, Drew Storen, their all-star closer with 43 saves last year, hasn't pitched yet this year with an arm injury. And then you mentioned Henry Rodriguez, who throws 100 miles an hour. He is on the disabled list, so they turn to Tyler Clippard, and all he has done is converted all 8 save opportunities since taking over that closer role back on May the 22nd. Excuse me, Alan, doesn't throw very hard, but throws a lot of strikes.
And all these Washington Nationals have done on the season is lead the major leagues in ERA. The bullpen is not quite in the top spot. They're right there among the leaders. The starters are number 1. They have been really good on the hill.
Yeah, bullpen number 3 in terms of earned run average, as Omar Vizquel has grabbed the bat to pinch hit and comes out on the on-deck circle 3rd in earned run average, the bullpen.
Blue Jays had just a 3-man bench tonight to start the game. Aaron Sebia, who's already pinch hit, Omar Vizquel, and Mike McCoy. Rajay almost leans into one. That'll shake the cobwebs. Off-speed pitch, but it just runs up and in.
Yeah, he runs that ball up and in to Rajay as he dives across the plate. Last time that happened to Rajay Davis, where they knocked him down like that, the next pitch he hit out of the ballpark for a home run.
Two and 1 the count. Blue Jays would love to get Rajay aboard. This was the fastball. Or was it 81 miles an hour? Maybe not. Pitch is just simply getting away from Clippard.
His best pitch is the changeup. And he's got good control. He's only walked 12 batters this whole season in 27 1/3 innings. Another one up and in to Rajay Davis.
Rajay's having a tough time turning back away from the pitcher, leaving that face exposed. Rajay drew a walk in the 4th inning. Other than that, striking out a couple of times. It's a good fastball. And Clippard has struck out 32 in 27 plus innings, so something's working. He gets another one. Fastball up and away, looked like it might have been out of the strike zone.
92 miles an hour. It's right over the top. But he's very deceptive as he throws that left side glove towards home plate.
Really does throw that glove on the left hand up in the air and creates things for hitters to look at. And now the pinch hitter Omar Vizquel. Jeff Mathis was 0 for 3 on his night with a couple of strikeouts. So Mike McCoy, the only position player left on the bench for the Blue Jays. Just reaching out and getting a soft pop behind second base is Vizquel, and that's handled by Desmond. And 2 outs here in the 9th inning. So Brett Lawrie's going to have to find a way to get something going, or the Blue Jays are going to find themselves for the 2nd straight night dropping to these Washington Nationals.
Falling to 500 again on the season.
There's a swing out in front on that changeup. That's a perfect example of how a hitter swings at the arm speed and not the baseball.
Yeah, again, the fastball about 87 to 92 or so, curveball, but it's his changeup which is his best pitch. He'll throw the curveball anytime, and he really relies on location and deception.
Brett Lawrie's 1 for 2. He's reached a couple of times. Once hit by a pitch, and once drawing a walk, scored a run after walking in the 5th inning on the home run by Bautista. Laurie stung one as he lined out to right field in the 7th inning. Well, that's a tough pitch. If that's a strike, you're going to have to broaden your horizons a bit.
Good job by the catcher, Solano, to really frame that one for a home plate umpire. Adrian Johnson, watch, he doesn't even move his hand. Just pulls it back into the strike zone.
Down to a strike. That's about that same pitch that Rajay offered on as he struck out to start the inning.
Up and away. This is a player, Clippard, who has 38 holds last year, which is the franchise mark. The perfect guy to come in and save now with the injuries to their closers.
Get on base and give that guy a chance. Rasmus has been swinging a great power bat of late. The changeup gets him. So Clippard successful once again in closing out a ball game for the Washington Nationals. They are firing on all cylinders now as they make it 2 straight here in the series. And the Nats have won 5 in a row overall.
Showing us why they are in first place. We talked about their hitting. They've got plenty of that. They put together 10 more hits tonight, and their pitching staff, great starting and a very deep bullpen.
Well, the Nationals win it 4-2 as they out-hit the Blue Jays 10-5, homering 3 times, and too much of that guy, Bryce Harper. We'll see you tomorrow as it's a 12 o'clock start here on Sportsnet.